Is it only that map they're showing?
It's only that map.
It's still cool to be able to switch through, try the different classes and whatnot. So you said original. Here, I'll put you on camera. Okay, you can be. Oh God, it's up.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, I didn't tighten this. That's why. All right. Do you want to introduce yourself for the camera?
Yeah. Should I? Can you tilt it up at all?
I don't know.
There we go. Otherwise, I'll just do what you just did for the last 10 minutes.
Probably by going like this.
This works. I'll just stand back a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll capture your audio though.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, I'll hold it. Well, that didn't work like it was supposed to, but okay. Go.
I'm Ian Frewin, the CEO and co-founder of 1047 Games, also creative director, and we make Splitgate 2 and Splitgate, of course.
And then you were saying the project was originally like a dorm room project.
So
for your
my senior project. Yeah. So I actually started Splitgate in the dorm room my senior year at Stanford. It was my senior year project almost 10 years ago, and never had any ambitions at the time to turn it into anything. Just kind of had this idea, thought I wanted to combine my two favorite games, Halo and Portal, and built it, had a lot of fun with it, showed it to my friends, and realized, all right, I can't sit around hoping somebody else makes my dream game. I got to go do this. And obviously it's evolved a lot since then, and now with Splitgate 2 it's evolved quite a bit. A lot of Titanfall inspiration as well, but that's been quite the journey, and we're really excited about Splitgate 2. Open beta May 22nd on all platforms, PC, Xbox, PlayStation.
And then reviews, or not review, but final copy is a little bit later.
Final copy is a little bit later. We haven't announced that yet, but what we have said is once it's on, it's on. Yeah. So the beta is effectively launch, soft launch, right? Like it's not. This is not a week-long beta. This is the lights are on.
Now is beta just going to be anyone can download, or?
Yep, free to play. Anybody can download. Steam, Epic Games, Windows GDK or Windows Store, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. So we're coming to a lot of different platforms at the same time.
Okay. Now, will it have crossplay or just?
It will crossplay and cross progression.
Now, how are you going to do competitive with crossplay? Console only against console?
We're still figuring that out. Not ready to talk about ranked yet, but we'll definitely have a competitive portion to the game.
Now, were there any, when you were going from Splitgate 1 to Splitgate 2, was there anything like out in the industry that you kind of looked at and were like, I want to take something from this, or?
I think the biggest thing, I mean, okay, I guess the truth is like not really. We just kind of want to make a fun game. I think the biggest thing personally that I felt with Splitgate 1 of like, just selfishly, how do I want to make this more fun? I'm like, well, I love Titanfall. I love Titanfall 2. I look at like, what are the games that are out there? There's like, I kind of missed that. Especially, I was very sad when that got canceled recently. So I'd say like with Splitgate 2, we're definitely still, obviously, the Portal mechanic is as iconic as ever. I'm a huge fan of old school Halo gunplay, so that has very much been preserved. I'd say the biggest change and inspiration is just on movement, right? Like Splitgate 1's movement was very like basic and floating, and it worked. Splitgate 2's movement is just so much more. You can slide down hills, gain momentum, you can jetpack, you can kind of chain that with the Portal, and it feels so meant to be, like combining the Portal mechanic with that style of movement. It just goes hand in hand.
Now, shooting through the portals, because it seemed like you could. How did you?
You can.
So, how did you kind of like get through that mechanic? Because obviously, you have to put like some kind of collision interaction with Portal, and then.
That was not too challenging. It's all math, right?
Yeah.
So it's all difficult. There were definitely a lot of technical hurdles. I'll say, especially with Splitgate 2, we've done a lot to optimize the portals. Yeah. And just the game in general, but you're basically just doing line trace. So you shoot the gun, what's the angle it hits, where does it hit? Okay, it should come out on that same angle on the other end.
Yeah.
So
you said that you brought in the Call of Duty director and like the Halo director. How has their like addition to the team like really impacted like the changing?
Yeah. Should I be looking at the camera or you? I keep going back and
I'll
forth.
stand right behind you.
Oh, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Okay, ready? Right here.
Okay, perfect. They've just leveled us up, right? So we hired, like you said, we hired Halo's audio director, and we hired Call of Duty's animation director. They're just beasts. I mean, they've leveled up the team. They've pushed us. They've brought everything to the next level. I don't know how else to say it other than just they're really, really freaking talented and great people. And yeah,
I know when you bring in different people, it can always like draw influence from them, or they'll go, "Oh, I did this," but because like when I'm playing, it sounds more like. Did you play Halo Reach?
Yep.
I assume so.
I'm playing it right now. Actually, I'm in the middle of replaying it with one of my teammates.
Okay.
Campaign. So
like the audio design for Halo Reach, that multiplayer was more of what the vibe I was getting.
Okay.
But even like Halo 4 versus the Halo 3, which seemed more slow paced.
Yeah.
So
I love Reach. I wouldn't say that there was any like intentional like inspiration from Halo Reach specifically. More just we love Halo, and obviously I'm sure that Tajin, the audio director, like I'm sure that subconsciously he's being influenced by that, just as I am. But we're really trying to make our own thing here. And same as COD. I mean, I think actually one of the things our animation team, one of the reasons he wanted to join is he wanted to do something different. And obviously we love COD, he loves COD, but he was really interested in like doing something a little more stylistic and less tactical. And so you'll notice like a lot of the way our animations is it's very sporty. It's very, you'll see the players flip the mag, there's a lot of inspiration from sports versus just tactical military. And before COD, he worked on Ratchet and Clank. And so he's been around, and I think that's what's fun to him is like exploring these different styles.
Obviously, the Splitgate 2 coming out. Is there anything like that you've kind of thought about that you haven't implemented yet? We already talked about the rank, like a goofy level design, or like with portals being a key thing, like having multi-layered platforms where you got half the portal up and like angle.
We've experimented with some crazy stuff. I don't know if it'll ever see the light of day. One of our level designers, yes, there are things that we are working on. Like there's a season 2 game mode that I wish we could get it for launch, because I didn't have this idea until way later. But I'm like, oh my god, this would be so sick. So that'll come out season 2. And we also have a lot more coming that is going to be at launch and at beta. The level design thing, to circle back to my previous thoughts, one of our level design, we're big fans of just like experimenting and trying stuff, right? He made this map where it was like 2 worlds that were sort of inverted, and the whole like floor was a giant portal. And so like if you jump, it's hard to explain, but it's like if you jump through the portal, you're now upside down, right? And so you can have these interactions where like I'm in this world shooting down through a portal at people who are upside down to me.
But they're right side up and vice versa.
And it doesn't it's very buggy, and it's very like poor performance. And so like, don't get your hopes up that this will ever turn into a thing. But that's the kind of experimentation that just no one would ever think of that. And we're just like, holy shit, that's sick. Like, will we do something with it? I don't know, maybe. But not at launch.
Custom game mode.
It could be, or, it would be a lot of work, but like, yeah. And there's a number of things like that we will actually do, that we are doing, that I'm not going to talk about yet. But but that's one of the ones that was like, wow, that's cool.
Now, are you allowed to talk about the Season 2 game mode? Or is it more secret right now?
It's more secretive, yeah.
I don't know. Does Splitgate have like a design your own map levels, or?
So we haven't announced specifically anything about that. What I will say is Splitgate 1, we did have a very basic map creator that we released post-launch. Halo Reach Forge is actually the reason I got into game development. Like, I loved building maps.
That was a lot of fun.
And we have teased, we haven't announced anything, but we did tease the idea of infinite maps, which you can kind of form your own conclusions on what that might mean. But if you look at our teaser trailer, it might give you some clues.
Okay. Cool. All right, thank you for showing me the game.
I was a little off camera at the end there.
So people are going to be like, what are you doing? It accidentally broke the tripod. Or not broke, but just
No, they got a good view of my chin.
Your chin. All right.
So, but hopefully the audio is good.
Hopefully.